through 12th grade girls here in the Low Country will experience a day of empowerment and inspiration at the Dream Sparkle Shine Conference in North Charleston in November. Today, I talk one-on-one with the host of this event, Shakeima Clark-Chatman, for this edition of Quintin's Close-Ups. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my YouTube channel and like Quintin's Close-Ups on Facebook. Shakeima Clark-Chatman, welcome to Quintin's Close-Ups.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to talk about the Dream Sparkle Shine Conference.
Absolutely. I know that you are a multi-million-dollar real estate producing agent here in the Low Country, an author, a real estate speaker, a trainer, a coach, a wife, and a mother, and also the host of the Divas in Training Presents Dream Sparkle Shine Conference 2022. Tell me, what's new, what's now with this year?
So I'm excited we're coming back, right? We had a 2-year hiatus because of COVID. And so this year, if anyone's not familiar with the conference, it's really intended for 5th through 12th grade girls. It's a day for them to come, be inspired, be empowered, and have fun. I think that's an important part of the process as well. So I'm excited about this year because we listen to the girls. Every year we have the event, we send them a survey, and they wanted more youthful speakers. So all of our main speakers are under the age of 17 years old. Wow. So you'll hear from young entrepreneurs, a national pageant winner, just how they as teenagers are already living out their entrepreneurial dreams.
Let me go back down memory lane and talk about you. When you were a teenager, who inspired you to become the entrepreneur that you are today?
So the interesting thing about the Divas in Training conference is it is the answer to what I needed. I was actually a troubled teen. I think I got in a fight every single year. I was in high school, suspended. I remember my senior year was like 2 weeks in, and they called my mom, and she was like, already school just started. And so that's what inspired me to do this. It was what I needed, because what people didn't realize about me, why I was so angry, I've been molested as a child. And so that outer anger was my protection mechanism. And I feel that happens a lot of times to children. They have things going on that no one takes the time to kind of figure out why they behave. And so this is just an opportunity to remind them, despite where they may come from, what's going on, how amazing they are, and they can overcome some of those challenges.
And I know on the social media, you all said this, it's more than a conference. Sometimes the warfare leading up to the assignment is heavy, but I will go to war every day for these girls because I didn't know how to fight in spirit at their age. So what is the warfare that the girls are dealing with on a daily basis?
I go through, the conference is a 1-day event, but I also spend time in some of the schools and just hearing some of the stories. Unfortunately, some of our girls, and I won't neglect that some of our boys are facing things that are happening in their community with violence and death that they never get treated for. Or, in instances, it happens a lot with girls. Sometimes they are sharing the similar story that I share, where someone is inappropriately, touching them or forcing themselves on them. And so they carry a lot of these things with them a lot of times. So that is some of the warfare that I've seen. And then some of it is, normal, I would say, teen stuff, understanding their self-worth, their value, dealing with peer pressure, bullying, drugs, alcohol. Our kids are dealing with a myriad of things that I don't think we necessarily had to deal with. I mean, social media for them adds a whole nother added layer of things that they have to deal with on a daily basis. I know as an adult, some of those are hard challenges to deal with. So just imagine as a developing young woman having to deal with some of those challenges.
And I know earlier, Ms. Chapman, you talked about those mechanisms that, people, particularly the girls, have to put up, just try to let people know, hey, I'm dealing with a problem. Mm. What mechanisms from your childhood that you now see with the girls that you mentor and empower?
A lot of it is very similar. I see the anger, the protecting myself, pretending like I don't care about school or education. All of those are just defense mechanisms, kind of joking things off, laughing things off. fighting and reacting inappropriately because they just don't know how to control what's happening to them.
Wow. And I know on the website you all said the 5th to 12th grade girls will experience a day of empowerment and inspiration as they are challenged to dream big, sparkle more, and actually shine bright. So how are those girls being empowered right now?
Well, so again, for the girls that we work with in the school, right now we are at North Charleston High School. We do monthly mentor sessions with them. And this year, this is my second year working with the high school. I'm excited because the curriculum or the conversations that we are going to have with those girls are geared around what they told us they wanted to talk about. So we're going to deal with the tough subjects of one, they want to know, believe it or not, I was surprised, they wanted to know how to start their own businesses, financial literacy, but they also want to talk about relationships. And unfortunately, I'm learning, because all of these are, some of these topics are eye-opening, even teenage domestic violence. Those are the things that are happening. So we talk about those topics. We give them information on how to remove themselves out of those situations. A lot of them, sad to say, just the nature of what's happening with kids. They want to talk about depression. They want to talk about how to overcome some of their challenges. So that's when I talk about the warfare. But hey, I'll fight every single day for those girls.
Absolutely. And what practical tools did you use to overcome your challenges?
As an adult, because it actually took me as an adult to get to that point. Really, for me, my overcoming my challenges for me was rooted heavily in my faith, developing a relationship with God, and learning to how to pray. And notice I said learning how to pray. Right? Grew up in church. Went to church every, Sunday, went, shouted, went home, all that good stuff. But it was really learning that I can have a relationship with God. And just by that simple relationship, the guidance, the comfort that He gave me got me out of those dark days.
And this is a redundant question, Ms. Chapman, but what practical tools can the girls use right now?
We talk a lot. One of the tools that I implement with them a lot is journaling, getting their feelings out on paper, positive affirmations. One exercise that we do with them, we give them mirrors and we have them write those affirmations on those mirrors so that they can speak positively into their lives. I talk to them a lot about devotional time, quiet time, meditation time, using those things to kind of center themselves.
So, what is the state of character development today?
I'm not sure I understand your question.
Yeah, when you think of character development from the time that you were growing up to right now, what's the state of that?
I think there is more emphasis on emotional intelligence. Going into the schools, I am happy to see that a lot of the schools have counselors on site. We had a guidance counselors, but they have actual therapists that are coming on site. More conversations around mental health, emotional health. I just have to shout out North Charleston High School Principal Darby. He is so invested in the whole student. I work a lot with his parent liaison, Miss Pryor. So they're not only just making sure that the children are educated, they're making sure that their home needs are taken care of. So I think that is the difference. I know for sure from when I was in school, I see there's a lot more work to be done, but I think the awareness and the attempts to address these issues, in my opinion, from what I see, are being addressed more.
And I know him, Mr. Darby, personally because he was my high school teacher at Burke High School.
Oh, really? Yeah. I mean, that man, when I say he loves those kids, he loves those kids.
Yes, he does. Absolutely. Absolutely. Category, Ms. Chapman, say from personality to lifestyles and habits, is the most popular at your event?
You talking about the activities?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so of course, they're going to hear from the speakers, but I think the girls we always bring in someone who does some type of dance or, line dancing. This year, we have Miss Erin from Strike Fitness, and she actually, the way she teaches them physical fitness, it also helps them get out some of their negative energy. I think that's always a positive thing. Of course, social media age, the kids love the photo booths, the 360 booths, those types of things. Our breakout sessions seem to be popular where they get an opportunity to work together in smaller groups and discuss some things that they may have going on. Our team building activity is always fun. Last year, we gave the girls aluminum foil and they had to come up with designs for their own dresses. Those kids are so talented to see what they were able to create in 20 minutes from aluminum foil and maybe some tulle. So those are just an example of some of the activities that they will experience.
And going back to character development, Ms. Chapman, what are those 4 types of character development that you see right now?
What types of character development? I'm not sure. What topics?
Well, 4 types of character development. What do you see with the kids when it comes to character development?
The areas that they need to be refined in, I think conflict resolution
Okay.
is huge, because if you think about some of the things that they're seeing, some of the conflicts are not resolved appropriately. Expressing themselves is another tool, another topic that we talk about quite a bit. So I think those 2 things are the main focus. How do you effectively resolve a conflict, and then how do you effectively express yourself?
Yes, ma'am. So, what is the biggest character development mistake do you see among the girls?
Those are the 2. They don't understand how to express themselves.
Hmm. So, what character building skills do you see the girls actually adapting to?
I don't think I understand your question.
Oh,
I,
don't worry.
yeah. I mean, I'm repeating myself. Those are the things that we address: how to effectively resolve conflict, and then also how to express yourselves effectively.
Let's catch you this. How does character influence success?
Of course, understanding soft skills and how to interact with people. I mean, you don't grow, you're not in this world alone. So I think it's extremely important that you understand how to communicate effectively. You're going to be communicating throughout your life. I know personally, my success, a great deal of it has been based on relationships that I have. So understanding how to relate and interact with others, I think is important.
So, what are the 5 new ways that somebody can actually develop a character?
I don't know. I'm not I don't have 5 ways to develop a character.
No worries. So, let me ask you this. What are your pillars of character?
For me, integrity is extremely important. Integrity, honesty, fairness, treating people equal. I'm always the one that can say, my grandmother used to work in a cafeteria at a high school. I can talk to the janitor and I can talk to the CEO. So I think those to me are the pillars, ground root. My faith, of course, are the the foundations of my character.
So, let me ask you this. How can I actually develop my own character and attitude?
So you have to be self-reflective. I think that's an important part of character development, really taking time to assess who you are and admitting we're imperfect human beings. And so really taking the time to be like real with yourself, areas that you can improve. Every year I sit down and kind of reflect on ways that I want to improve. I think developing your character is an ongoing thing.
And what values and desires, Ms. Chapman, that you see in the girls that have actually changed you personally and professionally?
I think for me, definitely like I said, I've always been a tough person. Definitely made me a little more tender towards others, more caring of others.
So, and I know on the website you also said this about the event: sow a seed of greatness into the life of a young girl today by bringing them this obviously life-changing event. Let me ask you, what other seeds do you hope people will sow by bringing the girls to this event?
Repeat that. I didn't hear the last part of your question.
Oh, no worries. I know on your website you said you want people to sow a seed of greatness into the life of a young girl today by bringing them into this obviously life-changing event with the conference. Let me ask you, what other seeds do you want people to sow by bringing these girls to your event?
Well, the seed is bringing them, just putting them in the atmosphere. One of my sayings is exposure. Exposure is the catalyst to success. So, giving them an opportunity to hear about what's possible. Before I was in real estate and a few other of my careers, I was an educator, and I remember working in a rural school in the Charleston area and taking the kids just to Carowinds. Was an eye-opening experience for them because some of them had not even left out of Hollywood. So just giving them the opportunity to hear what's possible, I think sparks something for them.
And when you think of divas in training, what does that mean to you?
So Divas in Training stands for Divine, Inspirational, Virtuous, Ambitious Sisters. And it is a combination of sisterhood and then also self-awareness, self-empowerment. I think what I want the girls to understand is that in this life, they're going to be constantly coming against negative self-talk, sometimes also, negative factors like some of the ones that we discussed before, but they are able to overcome those things.
And let me go back to the top. Divas in Training presents Dream Sparkle Shine Conference 2022. Who, what, when, and where, and how, and
Okay,
why?
so this year it will be Saturday, November 5th, from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. We will have, they'll be served breakfast, they'll be served lunch. In addition to all the conference activities, they get a nice goodie bag. Come out, have fun, learn, be inspired. Also excited this year, they'll be able to shop with kidpreneur vendors. All of our vendors are under 18 years old selling their products. We have a 6-year-old that's going to be selling her lip gloss products. But come out, be inspired, have fun. We would love to have you.
That is amazing. Looking forward to it. Well, Shakeima Chapman, thank you so much for your time. And again, welcome to Quintin's Close-Ups.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.